Alright guys, welcome back to another video. This is my first video in my new house actually, so it's gonna sound probably a little bit different at least. I know that there's a lot more reverb in this room as of right now. My old room had like posters and all kinds of shit all over the walls. I just started moving into this place, but I need to make videos and most of my stuff is here, so it kind of has to be the place that we're doing this at. So today we're going to be taking a look at another episode, another entry into It's Always the Video Game's Fault. Now this article is kind of old at this point. It's like 3 weeks old nearly at the time that I make this video, so it's a little bit outdated, but at the same time it's not an article that it's got to be like current information. Okay, this is one of those things that you can go back on in like 40 years and look at, and it's just like, oh, it's just as stupid as it was the day it came out. It's like having a child addicted to drugs. Doctors warn that Fortnite has caused children to smash up cars, stop eating, and pushed parents to divorce. Health professionals have spoken out about the impact playing Fortnite has on children, likening its addictive nature to that of hard drugs, and that's a really good way to put it. Which is more addictive, Fortnite or heroin laced with fentanyl? There is a very clear and concise equality to both of those things. Played by more than 200 million users, the cartoon multiplayer shooter game is costing children sleep, their schoolwork, and causing them to become violent. See, and people say that they're not trying to say that that's what's going on, but it seems like this Daily Mail and every article, they say this shit every single time. I feel like children just generally don't like to go to bed at a normal time because, I mean, I've never met a kid who's like, oh god, I gotta go to bed at 9 p.m. Alright, I'm cool with that. And children have been known for their avid love for their schoolwork. Even before video games, children were just so happy to go to school, man. It was the greatest thing of all time. Even before Fortnite, when video games existed, there was no pattern where children just didn't want to go to school. That never happened, okay? Same thing with that sleep. Kids always loved to go to sleep, and causing them to become violent. Yep, the video game is just hardwiring them, guys. It's a problem. The latest installment of the popular video game Fortnite Battle Royale is seeing children drop out of social activities like playing sport. Okay, whoever edited this article needs to walk into the office tomorrow to a big fat pink slip, because I don't know if English isn't their first language or something, but if English isn't your first language, do not become a writer or editor for the Daily Mail. Yeah, and it's the latest installment because there's been so many different Fortnite Battle Royales, guys. There's been like 18 of them at this point. Then you know it's like a yearly release. See, we're only 3 paragraphs in, or I guess you could call these paragraphs, and you're already starting to see that the person who wrote this article has no idea what they're talking about. Michael Rich, a director for the Clinic of Interactive Media and Internet Disorders at Boston Children's Hospital, told the Boston Globe about its impact. They are not sleeping. They are not going to school. They are dropping out of social activities. A lot of kids have stopped playing sports so that they can do this, he said. We have one kid who destroyed the family car because he thought his parents had locked his device inside. He took a hammer to the windshield. I'm still not understanding where exactly Fortnite really causes them to do that. I don't understand this. They act like Fortnite is like some satanic message that like encapsulates the child and just makes them act demonic. Your kid's a bratty loser regardless if he plays Fortnite or not. The problem is that you let him play Fortnite for 7 hours a day and you let him get to this point, you know? Where he cares so much about Fortnite that he's willing to destroy your goddamn car. But parents love to just blame something else. It's insane, man. Well, my child took a hammer to the windshield and, destroyed my car because that's where we put his Xbox. And little Timmy, he's been playing too much Fortnite. Who physically lets their child do that? Like, I just don't understand. There's no way you could have prevented this from happening. I mean, he's a child. At the end of the day, you couldn't step in front of him and, like, take the hammer from him or something? It seems more or less like his parents allowed him to do that one, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't even make any sense. I would love to see what 90% of dads do to their children if they grab the hammer and go for the car, you know? His account is just one of many that describe an obsession so intense that kids are seeing doctors and therapists to break the game's hold over their children. The game's hold over their children. See, you have to really note the wording here. Because people are all like, oh my god, they don't mean to say it like that. They don't mean to make these claims. If they don't mean to do it, how do they do it several times an article, okay? And it's very clear that this wasn't proofread at all. I mean, the spelling error's enough to prove that right there. I mean, honestly, it's just, It's insane. I mean, I'm playing Fortnite in the background right now, and you're telling me that this game has a hold over me? Pff, get real. In some cases, teenagers are losing so much weight because they refuse to stop playing to eat that doctors initially think that they have a physical disease. It is a parent's responsibility to make sure that their kid is eating, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the quote-unquote hold that this game has over your child. If you're one of these parents watching this shit, man, and your kid is addicted to Fortnite and you just don't know what to do, and you've magically stumbled across this video, it's not real. Start being a parent, take the game from your kid. If he does anything, beat his ass or call the police. Tough love is the only thing that works sometimes. Stop trying to be a friend to your child. It does not work. Your child doesn't respect you in any of these circumstances. If he won't leave and eat to the point that he's losing weight and doctors think he has a physical disease, if he destroys your family vehicle with a hammer and you somehow allow him to do that, any of this shit, it's because you have allowed your child so much free roam throughout the household, and you've allowed them to make so much of the decisions in the household that they no longer respect you, okay? And you have to kind of understand why. They're children, okay? So they're already not going to just listen 100% of the time. The kids are assholes, okay? You give these little brats even a sliver of power at all, just a pinch of power, they will take a handful. If you give them an inch, they will walk a mile on your back, because that's how kids are. They don't give a shit about authority most of the time. What, they want to play Fortnite. It's not the game's fault that they want to play it, but it is your fault if you let them play it 9 hours a day after school, and you let them physically stop eating and destroy your car, you know? Your child is not your best friend. You cannot treat your child like it is your best friend. If you're not putting any authority down and you're allowing your child to make all the decisions, you 100% deserve everything that they do to you. One of the parents will get to the point of almost considering a divorce. Rich Domenico, a therapist with Live Well Therapy Associates in the Back Bay, told the publication, "It's similar to working with parents who have a child addicted to drugs." Okay, come on now. I mean, we're just blaming everything on Fortnite at this point. Well, I got in a car accident earlier today. Was driving drunk and ran a red light and completely totaled a family's SUV. God, man, I don't know what I was thinking, dude. Fortnite still must have had that hold over me. It's just bad. It's all bad. If one of the parents is getting to the point that they'd almost consider a divorce, do you really think that a children-styled video game is the problem here? It can't be the communication between the parents, their inability to communicate what to do with the child. It can't be their disciplinary measures against the child that one disagrees with. It can't be a multitude of other different problems in their personal lives that they deal with on an everyday basis. Nope. It's their kid playing too much Fortnite. That is the main cause of 97% of divorces. That is a true fact. Hey guys, I ate 17,000 calories a day in McDonald's Big Mac hamburgers, and now I have heart disease and a complete other list of obesity-related diseases, and now, instead of taking any self-accountability, you know what? Fuck it. Blame Fortnite. I really have a feeling that dealing with children addicted to drugs is a lot harder than dealing with kids who are just addicted, quote-unquote, to playing Fortnite, because a child who is addicted to drugs has an actual chemical addiction in their body, and their body literally desires this chemical pretty much 24/7. And there's a slew of other side effects. Your kid acting this way over Fortnite can be solved with parental changes, taking the console away, and if they act any further beyond that point, whipping their ass. If you don't believe in whipping your children as discipline, having them sent to some social thing, like going to a therapist. And not one that's going to tell you that Fortnite's the problem, and not one that's going to sugarcoat the issue, that way you pay him $30 an hour. Going to an actual therapist who actually gives a shit about what's going on and tells you that you're the problem for allowing it, that way you can also seek some help in becoming a human being who is not completely worthless. Parents fretting over their children spending too much time online isn't new, but there are significant factors that make these games harder to stop playing. Advances in technology have made the games more interactive and more engaging, with the flashy colors and element of social interaction with other players. Look at those flashy colors, guys. You see the colors? Those are pretty colors, right? It's Optimus here. Do me a favor while you're looking at these flashy colors and dealing with a lot of interactivity right now, because you hear my honey-like voice talking into this mic. Hit the subscribe button, why don't you? I would really appreciate that. That'd be really cool of you. I think I don't even have to say anything. I think everyone watching this video is going to understand that that is the dumbest shit that I've ever heard. The psychological manipulation stimulates the brain and trains it to crave more, says Douglas Gentile. I think that's how you say his name. A psychology professor wrote in an email to the Globe. Douglas, you are clueless as f***, my guy. Once again, okay, and this is the problem. These people are college educated. These are college educated people who are actual doctors, who claim that this game is psychologically manipulating children. And part of the problem is that these are older people who don't play video games, who have no idea what they're talking about, and they watch News 18 say some just ignorant shit because they don't have a clue about what they're talking about. They're like, well, that must be right, so instead of researching a topic for myself, maybe playing the game to see what it really entails, I'll just go with that. The game makers also use shady tactics adopted by slot machine designers like a variable reward schedule. Oh my god. What? Oh my god, no way. Fortnite is one of the only games not doing loot boxes right now, dude. What? Okay, oh my goodness. Oh, they use shady tactics adopted by slot machine designers. No slot machine designer is ever like, you know what? Making people pay $800 just for the chance to get some, cosmetic loot in our loot box system, basically robbing the consumer. Let's just make a $10 pass with better stuff in it. That way they'll, actually get something worth their money, and it'll give them something to earn as they play the game. And let's also put in enough currency to literally make money if you make it all the way through the pass. There is no quote-unquote slot machine designer who would ever make a system so consumer-friendly. But hey, when you're an idiot, it doesn't really matter if what you say is true. You can just say it, and people will believe you, especially if you work at a university. You could be the dumbest person of all time and graduate college. I'm completely convinced, because there's no way that these people would be in this article if that were the case. I'm definitely not the smartest person, but oh my god. I feel like we're dealing with almost like medieval beliefs at this point. Like, they used to believe just wild shit that, like, witches would cast a spell and you would turn demonic, Basically, in this situation, the witch is Fortnite. The witch is Fortnite. It's so stupid, dude. That's going to be for this video, you guys. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're brand new around here. Parents, please learn to parent your children. That is what being a parent actually requires you to do. Follow me over on Twitter at SubToptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates over there. Join the Discord down below. Lots of great things going on down there. Thank you to my channel members for your $5 a month. Your support helps my channel tremendously. If you'd like to become one, you can do so by hitting the join button down below or hitting that become a channel member link in the description. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus. Is it Fortnite in the background of this gameplay? Okay, I kind of like this. Where's the hammer? And signing out.